Before I just show you the completion, I want to talk about my experience with this level and some of my own history. As we go on, I'll be referring to these levels as nerfed levels for the reasons you can read on screen right now, just to clear up any confusion that might come along. My 5th new hardest, which I beat just 4 months after I had started playing, was Pinos, which is just a nerfed Kinos. I've always liked these levels. I've been playing Sick Hell for a long time and eventually beat it one day at school. That was my 2nd nerf level. I had also been playing Zodiac, which I never beat, Slaughterhouse, and my last and most recent one, Sakubin Circles. The only ones I actually beat were Kinos, Sakubin Hell, and Sakubin Circles, so all of them are just Sakubin Hell related levels and nothing else. I kind of gave up on a lot of them, and sometimes just played them for fun, not even trying to beat it. I talked about them a lot, I played them a lot, just a big fan of these levels in general. Later on, I learned about the TSL, which is the list that ranks all these levels. It used to be pretty easy. Like, the Golden was placed at number 2 at one point, and it's like an insane demon. The Golden was also, at least I'm pretty sure, my first attempted list level. I put over 10k attempts into it, but I just really wasn't good enough, and also I was on 60 Hz at the time. My best run was like 23 to 82 or something. I was not even close to beating it, so I gave up. I used to give up on like every level ever back then, but I shouldn't have even attempted this one, honestly. I tried some other things like Zodiac, but it was really unfun. The next important one is Prismatic Haze, which I spent a similar amount of attempts on. Probably like 10 to 12,000 or something, which is a bit less than the Golden, and I spent like 2 weeks on it. Not only was it 60 Hz bugged, which I had to fix, it was problems with the decoration. A couple of slopes inside the structures would kill you for some reason on 60 Hz. But also, the ending was practically unnerfed, I'm not even kidding. The original feels the exact same difficulty as the nerf version, maybe ever so slightly easier in some places. It made it incredibly frustrating, which caused a lot of deaths. Here they are on screen. I think you would drop a level after 77 times 7 as well, right? My last one wasn't even a list level. It was just a cognition that I found on the servers, and I really liked it. The reason I didn't do cognition on the list is because that one is like number 15, and it's literally impossible. We went on vacation in the middle of me playing it, and I had planned to return to it once we came back, but instead I started playing Carcano. And I'm still playing it now, so maybe one day I'll return to Cognition. Now, why did I go for Cobwebs? It always just seemed really cool to me, and it seemed really fun as well. It just ended up being too hard for me to learn, especially back then on 60 Hz, so I never really tried it. I'm on 240 now, so it was a lot easier. But after the first day of playing it, it was extremely fun, so I instantly knew I was going to beat it. It was fun, but let's say the completion didn't go as planned. Here's my experience. My last best on this level was 92%, not long after I got 90. I had probably spent a couple hours on this level up to this point, but this was literally only the 2nd day I'd been playing. With how consistent this level really is, and being just a stray fly and 1 orb away, I thought I was done. And I really should have been. But I have an hour and 21 more minutes of footage after this, some of it being the next day. So I must have gotten pretty unlucky, right? Oh, yes, I did get unlucky, but not at all in the way you would expect. The next day, I'd actually managed to beat it, which I was pretty relieved and excited about. I mean, it was my first TSL level. It was like ending an era. And it was so fun as well. Here's my reaction. Wait, where's the audio? I mean, my headphones are working, my mic was plugged in. What's going on? Apparently my microphone just straight up was not connected to OBS, so who knows what could have went wrong. That means that I would have to rebeat it if I wanted to submit it to the list. Good thing that it was a really fun and consistent insane demon that this happened to, and not like Carcano. I have no idea how many days it had been disconnected, but now I'm like paranoid that my microphone just isn't working properly. Well, that kind of sucks, so I guess I have to beat it again. I decided to just come back later and I would redo it. And because of how consistent the level is, it was really not a problem. It literally took like 6 minutes for the rebeat, and it was in practice mode. How does that even happen? I have no idea how I got into practice mode, but I was so devastated. My heart actually skipped a beat when I made the realization. This was my reaction. There we go. Oh my gosh. That was so annoying. What? Dude. There's no way. There's no way. That sucked. But I got up, and a few minutes later, I decided to just do it once more. I did not get as lucky as the first time. I mean, I was more consistent, which sounds good, but really I was just dying further than I was before, not doing it in less attempts. So the attempts were just dragging on and on. I had a similar attempt count by the end, but because of how long each attempt was, it took like 5 times longer. And I was not getting lucky. I died at 91, 87, and a bunch of other deaths. Not as far, but I've been playing them in the background. I got very far very consistently, but got unlucky. But hey, after around a bit over 20 minutes and nearly 100 attempts, I beat it, for real this time, with no problems. Now I just have to make this video and submit it, and this whole thing will finally be over. Here's the completion. Yay! Yay! Oh my gosh, what's gonna go wrong this time? So, I submitted it like 2 days ago, and they only took 1 day to put it on the leaderboard, which I was not expecting them to do it that fast. I didn't know the TSL mod list was so dedicated, I guess. But I am officially number like 1080 something, like 1089 I think it is. I've been waiting to be on the TSL for a long time. Now I finally am, so that's very exciting. I'm currently working on Firework as my next list level. I want to make a bit of a ladder to get to some of the harder levels. Some of the levels I want to beat are like Kinos, which is a level I've wanted to do for a really long time, actually. Especially since my first one of these was Pinos. But Kinos, I've heard, is like Bloodbath difficulty, so it might be a bit before I get to that. I'd also like to beat Sonic Clubstep, just because I like Sonic Clubstep, I don't know. That one isn't quite as hard as Kinos, but it's still pretty high up there. I really should beat the Golden as like, kind of like a comeback, since I wasn't able to do it last time, but we'll see how that goes. And if we're talking really high up, like really high up on the list, there are definitely a lot I want to do. I would like to do Natural Disaster, since that level was just awesome. Cognition and Oblivion, because I really like Cognition levels. You know, I'm beating Carcano with my first Extreme, so it kind of just makes sense. I'd really like to like beat, even if it's not a level I would specifically want to beat, I'd really like to beat a top 1 or like a top 5 or something like that. Acheron seems really fun, actually. There was another Acheron that was like way easier than the one we have now, which is like number 2 on the list, but it's probably still a lot of fun. So I'll beat that someday, maybe. Slaughterhouse would also be interesting, since there's like I think just 2 other versions of that level that are like way easier. And I wanted to beat them like a really long time ago, but I never truly did. The one we have now, which is number 3 on the list, is actually impossible. But yeah, it seems really fun. Carcano isn't going too well. I just haven't had much time to play it recently, but I'm trying my best to beat it, and hopefully I can get consistent again and just get that one lucky run. I wanted to beat it before 2.2, but I feel like that's not gonna happen, even with it being delayed to November, unless I really start grinding it out, which I should probably start doing. This level, I knew it was gonna take me a long time. I don't really remember how long I was expecting, but this might be longer than I thought. It's been like 4 months, and like even if it's not longer than I thought, it's longer than it should be taking. Because I have like 85 times 2 now, and that happened like 3 weeks ago, and I still have not gotten like back there. It's kind of hard to play the TSL, because as soon as I play something else that isn't Carcano, I kind of like lose muscle memory and it becomes a lot harder to play, and it's also really demotivating. I've trapped myself in a bad cycle, and I never want to jump again. I never want to make a jump that big again. But yeah, once I beat my first extreme, I'll be free. I'll finally be free as a player, and I can do whatever I want. And I've also switched to 240, since 2.2 will be switching to 240. So things are looking up. Things are looking up. At least once I beat Carcano. Because Carcano I'm doing on 16, which makes it unbelievably harder. I did not realize how easy playing on 240 really was. It is actually cheating. I'll probably make a video like this for Carcano as well. Should be interesting because I probably have a lot to say, but we'll see.